What's going on, internet? Welcome to episode 29, the big 29, yo.
Mm.
We almost there to 30. 3-0, just one away. Anyways, this is the Summit podcast where we share with you all the latest and greatest gaming, anime, pop culture news, saving you all the time of finding it yourself. If you're listening to this, you can find us on all major podcasting platforms. We're available on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Don't forget, if you want to reach out and keep up with us, you can always find us on Discord server at discord.gg. Discord.gg.
You okay today?
You know, the numbers guy, not an English guy, you know.
Hey, nah, the letters, they're doing weird things. I don't know what it is, but
are they?
Oh, dyslexia.
Nah, Ashley's typing while I'm reading. That's what it is. He trying to fuck with me right now. This is a audience. This ain't me. This is one of your hosts here trying to make me look bad. But the server is discord.gg/the summit. While you're at it, go ahead and drop us a 5-star rating on the supported platforms because, you know, we're the greatest. We're the best. You don't need to go anywhere else. This is it. This helps the algorithm promote our show, which helps us bring in new listeners. Bring you in for today's... Hey, man, I'm parched.
Yeah.
This shit's long, yo. Hey,
God damn. Oh, God.
Hey, bring you in for today's episode is Striker, the Striker. Hey, man. All right, moving on. Hey, let me go ahead and bring in our co-host, starting with Mr. Compliment, Mr. Positivity, pushing P himself, Razor SJS.
Woo! Hey, appreciate you for bringing me in, homeboy. Hey, it's your boy Razor back again. Another week of the summit. You know, you love to be here. I love to be here. I hope you love to be here. I hope you love listening to us. And if not, I mean, thank you for being here still, I guess. But anyway, happy to be back. Nothing new for me personally, so I'll give it back to a Striker.
Appreciate it. All right, moving on to the next one, Mr. One Take himself, the monkey, the Buddha god, Buddhist. Yo, Rain, go ahead.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I do guess I appreciate that. One take, I tried that one time in the studio. I got something out there on SoundCloud. Don't look for it. Glad to be here, you know? It's another glorious Thursday evening, putting in that work and, you know, bringing nothing but good takes to the table.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And on this fine Thursday, we're going to go ahead and bring in our last but not least, pushing past Tuesday, Wednesday. Go ahead, Ashy, bring us in.
What is up? Episode Big 29. We want to thank everybody for returning to the podcast. We appreciate the love and the support. The numbers are up and we appreciate it, but we're not here for the numbers. We here for the news and we love bringing it to you. Yeah, but what Striker, God damn, that shit's contagious now. Oh my goodness. I don't know what you put in the air, but you good today, bro?
It's called stutter.
Oh boy, was dyslexic today. But while y'all are at it, go ahead and drop us a 5-star rating on supporting platforms because this helps the algorithm promote our show, which helps us with bringing in new listeners. Striker couldn't say that, but I can, so I'm telling y'all to do it right now. Anyway, we got a lot to bring to y'all. Not really. We don't have a lot to bring to y'all. This week is kind of dead on news, but we have something to say. And we're going to try our best. I guess we'll start off with the new releases. We don't really have anything that's really like hot on the floor right now, but we'll start with the new releases. Right now, we got NBA 2K25, which is out. Rain tried to peer pressure me into purchasing it on stream today. So that's bad friend energy for you right there. But hey, it's happening. It's out if you want it. We got the casting of the Frank Stone. Let's go ahead and get a review from our boy Razor real quick on casting of the Frank Stone because he played it actually over the last few days, huh? How many times did you play it? At least once?
Cap to you, yeah. I was gonna say review is a bit of an overstatement, crazy overstatement. Not gonna lie.
Not a review, firsthand.
So, yeah. Okay, so you know, I'm a super massive fan. I've loved their games since Until Dawn. Fuck, damn, Striker, yeah, that right? Is you. Anyways,
damn.
You know, but casting of Frank Stone is a special one in a way because it's a collab with DBD. So if you're a Dead by Daylight fan, there's a lot of lore and tidbits and Easter eggs in that game for you. If you're not a Dead by Daylight fan, but you are a Supermassive fan, a typical, linear horror interactive movie type of deal. I'm not gonna lie. I've only played it once. I went through basically the prologue. I've watched a bit of videos on it and seen a bit of what other people have to say about it. So I'm not completely clueless on how the game is. So to be straight up, definitely not one of their greatest. It's not going in the top 3. It's not near Until Dawn or or House of Ashes. It's not one of their best ones, right? It's mad short. I think the average people say it's around 6 hours, and the biggest problem a lot of people have with it is that the action is jam packed in both the beginning and the end. So I've heard the middle section is pretty boring myself. Haven't made it that far, so I can't give them first hand review on that. That is what I've heard. But yeah, just other than that, that's your, if you know Supermassive Games, you know what you're in for. With this one, the entire ideal is that there was a serial killer back in the 1960s, Frank Stone, who got stopped, but his soul was, I guess, revived by the entity, and he continues to do it, his shit in that area, that mill. And so the game takes place over 3 different time periods, 2 mainly, I suppose. But the prologue, which is in 1963, where you first meet Frank Stone, you take him down as a cop, and then one in the 1980s, where you're a group of young teens trying to make a horror movie, and that kind of starts the curse. And then modern day, where people are back at the mill and they're trying, and basically Frank Stone is getting revived, and you're trying to stop it, or you learn about it, run away, all that, So ghost story. Yeah, if you're a Supermassive fan, it's not their best, but I haven't heard super terrible things about it. So, it might be worth a try. It's only $40, so less than the price of a full game. So if you're into that type of thing, it's, well, you guys probably know. Or if not, you can look more into it for yourself. If you're not into that type of thing, this probably isn't the one I'd recommend you buying first, especially if you're not a Dead by Daylight fan, because this is kind of like who it's for real. Love to see Frank Stone as a killer in DVD in the future, maybe. I don't know, wink wink. I doubt Behavior listens to this. But yeah, that's my first hand impression so far.
Nice. So I mean, would you say you gonna finish it up?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. But you enjoying it so far in a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, what else we got? We got Warhammer 40,000. We got Space Marine 2 with it. I don't know anything about that game, but it's released. If I know there's a bunch of Warhammer fans, so if y'all are a Warhammer fan, 40,000 is out right now. Astrobot is the next PlayStation exclusive that is out. People are calling it the game of the year. I cannot agree, but I will agree that the game is fun. It's very it's something to relax on. I know me and Stryker just touched it a little bit today, and I'll let Stryker get his piece on. But as far as what I think about the game, it's kind of like I'd say if Mario Party met PlayStation, kind of a little bit. It's, it's that fun relaxation type. It's kind of platformish, I guess. It's platformish, but it's 3D.
PlayStation loves their platforming games.
They do. It's fun. It's it's got like hidden characters along. Like I found Crash Bandicoot. I found Crash. During one of the missions. It's kind of. I was enjoying myself for the first couple hours I was playing it. Just something to chill on. I can definitely see myself just if I'm like stressed out on a game, just going to that, listen to some music, clearing the levels. Just something to chill on. It's $60. I mean, I would say I would have priced it at 50. But it's a family game, so it's definitely something kids can enjoy, especially if you're a Nintendo fan or something like that. I can see a lot of people from that side coming over to play it. Definitely a pretty solid game. I wrote a few notes down. I'll just go over it. It's got smooth gameplay. I like the soundtrack. It's got very fun visuals, so I think it's going to attract a lot of adolescents. It's got a very interactive gameplay from the missions that I've played so far. The incentives for completing the maps to its entirety, there are quite a few out there. So there's these hidden. There was even a hidden level inside of a level that led me to a different world. So I kind of like the attention to detail they put into that. So if you're noticing just something that's kind of standing out in your levels, just go ahead and do that. I also like the guide that you're able to do. Once you clear the map, once you clear a level, you can go back to that level and you can kind of purchase this guide that floats around with you. I call him Piplup because he looks like Piplup a little bit, just robot form. And he'll follow you and give you these hints on where the actual collectibles are. So I kind of like that. The collection feels rewarding. And for the cons, I didn't really find too many cons yet. Again, this is a first impressions. I played an hour and 30 minutes of the game so far. The cons, I didn't find a volume option in the menu. Nothing like deal breaker or anything like that, but the volume is very loud for the music. So I had to turn that down on my mixer. I think it could use a multiplayer option. Like I think this would be a great game for at least 2 players. You can sit down. I know Striker has a son. It'll be cool. Like if he was able to like sit down with his son and play it, side by side. That'd be pretty cool. But
He definitely did mention that.
Yeah, I think it'll be definitely a great addition to the game if they like worked on something like that. Which would have made it worth the 60, I think. But that's just my first impressions of the game. I do see myself finishing it over like the next few months, just working on it here and there. It's not something I'm gonna put like 6-7 hours into at one sitting, but I'll definitely get around to it whenever it comes. Striker, how you feeling about Astrobot?
Yeah, no, I mean you touched upon a lot of stuff about the game. It's fun little game. I like the nostalgia that they do by going back into time and kind of reliving not really reliving the experiences of the older games, but they do like have little Easter eggs from previous Sony exclusive games, like you mentioned. What was it, Crash, and they also got Jack, Daxter in there, Ratchet and Clank. Like you'll find a lot of those like iconic characters and IPs that people kind of loved and had fun playing back in the day from Sony. As a little boss that you kind of go around to find, as well as the puzzles that they have for the game and the collectibles and how you go about collecting them. I think it's pretty fun and clever to kind of throw that in there to kind of have that explorer side of people to kind of go about looking for them. But it's not contingent upon like beating a level or anything. Like the level's pretty straightforward. For a kid's game, I feel like they did really well on kind of covering how easy the game is. That they don't make it entirely difficult as far as the combat. Which I don't think is what that game is really about. It's more about like the puzzles in it and kind of figuring it out. So kind of watching my kid play it, he like not once did he struggle or get frustrated with the game because of difficulty. It was more of like just platforming, and that's something he can learn over time, which is pretty. It's pretty dope to see in a game like this, especially in today's day and age that everything is very difficult, you could say, and there's not much games out there for kids that'll teach or help grow with gaming. That aspect just kind of throws you in there and you just gotta figure it out. If not, start patching holes in your own house. So I did like about that about the game. One thing about this game that I continue to appreciate that I did when they first dropped their demo, which is called Astro's Playroom.
Yeah. I was confused on when you were talking about it on stream because I was like, is it Astrobot? But when I read it, it's like, because this is the 3rd installment or something like that, and I guess the last one was Astro's Playroom. Yeah, you're right.
So that one, like I said, they dropped this with the PS5, and it was mostly to kind of show off the controller and everything you could do with the controller, like the responses on the tap the triggers, the gyroscope on the controller, and its motion and controlling and seeing that actually play out in the game itself. Like there's a lot of technology within the controller itself that most games don't take advantage of, that this game fully takes advantage of, and it'll show it to you and have you utilize it as part of some of the levels and some of the missions that you have to do, and even some of the puzzles. And I think that's one of the things that I do really love about the game, and I think it's clever, taking advantage of the technology or the hardware you're utilizing. So that's one thing I'll definitely give it props for. But to say Game of the Year over Black Myth Wukong, that's a whole different conversation, but it's definitely not it. It's definitely not it.
Over what now?
Wukong is what they're saying.
I mean, I thought that was coming out of your mouth. I thought that was your opinion.
No.
Okay.
No, that's still. I mean, Ronan is up there, but yeah, I think I got to give it to Wukong.
Oh, Ronan's up
He's
there.
He's going down the hill. He's going to down it.
He is.
He's going to down it.
Shitty hill to die on.
No, but they're saying it's definitely a nomination for it. I could see it being a nomination just because of the popularity of the game for Astrobot, at least, but I don't see it winning. I mean, honestly though, there's not much that I would even put up on the nomination list this year. In my opinion, there's not many games that were even there were a lot of games that were supposed to be good but weren't good that released this year. I mean, we've talked about that plenty on the podcast, but I just don't see a lot competing. There's nothing competing with Wukong. I'll tell you that right now. And I guess we'll dive in a little bit to Wukong a little later. But some updates on the news. Oh yeah, but that's Astrobot, everyone. $60 right now, exclusive to PlayStation. So if you got kids, or if you ain't gotta have kids, man. Like if you're an adult, you just want something to chill on, because all these games coming out these days are so like stressful and so you gotta put so much focus into. It's just nice to play games again where you can just not focus, sit back, just not have a care, not worry about, you know, fighting or anything like that. Just chilling, you know. So it's a nice game to chill on. But it's $60 on PlayStation 5 right now. News, we got some GTA 6 news. So there was this rumor that dropped like a week ago, and it was saying that GTA 6 was possibly delayed until early or mid 2026. Well, that rumor has been debunked, and that rumor came from an employee at Rockstar. I don't know what it is about Rockstar and their employees and why all this stuff is leaking about GTA and like all their games. I don't know if Rockstar is a good place to work for. I'm not sure, but a lot of their employees are always leaking shit out of like animosity for the company. So I'm not sure what the problem is over there, but I guess that employee was a little salty and he started like spreading false rumors. I guess he was fired. But essentially he put out a rumor that it was gonna take GTA 6. They were like delaying the release again. That's not true. Once again, that's not true. But there were also claims that the PC version would not release until about 12 to 18 months after the console version released. Now, that rumor is still floating around. That one hasn't been debunked. And honestly, I can see that actually being true. Rockstar hasn't made any comments on basically anything, honestly, since GTA 6 trailer was dropped. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if a PC release was like a year and a half after the release on console. Just because they kind of did this. It was kind of similar to when GTA 5 dropped, right? Like, do y'all remember when GTA 5 dropped? I mean, we weren't really into PC gaming back then, but I remember PC version was it didn't drop for almost like a year. Shit on GTA 5 online didn't drop almost to like 6 months after GTA 5 launched. So I don't know, maybe that might be true, maybe not, but those are just rumors. But there are legit reports coming out right now that GTA 6 may not benefit from the PS5 Pro, and we'll get into more of the PS5 Pro's launch. I think that launched today actually. We'll get more into that a little later in the podcast, but there are reports that GTA 6 will not run at a smooth 60 frames per second on the new console, and this is because even though that the PS5 Pro received an upgrade to its GPU, it did not receive an upgrade to its CPU. In the game, Rockstar games are very notorious for being CPU heavy, so there are a lot of reports coming out that GTA 6 may not benefit from that new $700 console. And that upgrade on the mid tier, on the higher tier PS5 that just dropped. So, gonna disappoint a lot of people because I know a lot of people are rushing to buy that PS5 Pro right now. I mean, do what you want with your money. I don't care, but you know, I personally wouldn't buy a PS5 Pro. But we'll get into more of that later. Also in the news, XDefiant is offering players money to basically, I wouldn't say play their game, but they're offering up to $9 in game virtual currency. And there's no coincidence that this is right after the Black Ops 6 beta ends in their launch. They're kind of trying to draw players back to their game because they know Black Ops 6 is about to drop and nobody's probably going to play it. But Ubisoft revealed that there will be login rewards for XDefiant starting September 9th. So, I mean, as of a few days ago, there are login rewards for playing XDefiant. And like I said, once again, those rewards include up to $9 of in-game virtual currency. So,
woo! And how
right?
much in-game items can you buy off of $9?
Probably one or
Woo!
two. Woo! Yeah, clap it up for them. Yeah. Another big win for Ubisoft. Sarcasm.
Yeah, you be winning, you know what I'm saying? That's them.
They trying to.
Hit that right, Rain.
Huh?
$17.99.
Yes. $17.99 that you play subscription,
Hey,
man.
bro.
It's across
Hey,
all
bro, that's
of that.
half your subscription of in-game currency right there. You know what I
Shit, damn.
mean? Yeah, when you think about it that way, you know.
Hold on, now. How often I gotta play XDefiant for this?
They didn't say. They said they're offering up to $9.
You know, it's probably gonna be $1 a day for 9 days, bro.
There
You know
it
what I'm
is.
saying? How you like
Spend
that?
wisely.
Yeah. Don't
But
spend
how
all in
much-
one place now.
How much time during the day do I gotta spend playing type shit?
They gonna want you at least dedicate 10 games of your life every day. All right.
I could burn niggas for 10 games.
Hell yeah. Hey,
$9,
shit.
you know.
You know, I don't. Do y'all even have that shit installed anymore?
No.
All right, then. There it is.
Yes,
You really
I do.
on
You
your
know,
PC or
Sponsored got
Xbox?
it.
On my PC.
Okay, shit. Okay. I think I still got it on my PlayStation. Okay.
You know, actually gonna be back on there without Black Ops.
Yeah, if I didn't have Black Ops, I'd definitely be on it. I'll tell you that right now. We got some Concord news though. Rest in peace, Concord. You will be missed. I don't know. I never played you, but the Concord is to remain in Amazon's new video game anthology series. That will feature animated short stories set in the world of various games. So a little bit of background of this. I guess Amazon has like I said, Amazon has this new video game anthology series. Basically, there's a bunch of short stories that they're featuring. Like it's including like a bunch of video games throughout every platform. Some big franchises include like God of War, The Outer Worlds, and Warhammer. And apparently Concord was getting a animated short on the show. That's still going through. It's still greenlit. So I guess they're still pushing out the episode. I'm not sure when the episode launches. I think it's going to be, or airs. I think it's going to be in October. But we'll probably have an update for you in the next few weeks, if anybody even cares, you know. But Concord is still getting their feature on Amazon's new video game show. We also have some news. Do y'all remember Flappy Bird?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, it's coming back.
It never left, baby.
And it never left.
Yeah, now you paid all that money for them phones.
Never
Bro, people were
left.
buying phones with it on there, huh?
Hell yeah, for hella
Why did
bread, man.
Why did it get taken off? Was it really because of like the suicide shit?
Yeah.
People were really killing themselves with Flappy Bird.
Creator or something, right?
Motherfuckers was eating Tide Pods, bruh. During that time frame, niggas was doing everything.
You right. I mean, well, it's coming back.
It's gonna give people PTSD. It's gonna have them in a row.
Facts. And it's possibly coming to other platforms, they said. So it's going to be a mobile. It's coming back in 2025. It's possibly going to come back to other platforms. So for all them Flappy, I was playing it. I remember I couldn't get past like one pipeline.
Jesus.
I really couldn't. That shit was driving me crazy.
The first one?
The first one, bro. The first
Yeah, I'm
one.
sorry. That was so involuntary. Just like, goddamn, the first
No,
one.
seriously. I think I finally started getting the hang of the game during their rip-off games.
Oh yeah.
That people put out, because by the
Yeah,
time that shit got taken off, I was not good at it. And then,
What was your high score?
not too.
It wasn't
much,
even
maybe
one.
maybe like 300 something. Oh, on
Jeez.
Flappy Bird, the official,
Oh.
like 1 or 2, but like the rip-off
Damn.
games, like 300, maybe like 300.
What rip-off game you playing?
It was like
I be playing Flappy Mercy on Overwatch, or I used to.
there's Flappy Mercy on Overwatch.
Yeah.
What? Of course they made a version like that. Of course. And I bet all the Mercy players love that mode.
Bro, I be playing it.
They still have it?
Yeah, it's a custom game. Just go look in the
shit.
custom size. You probably better play it.
Oh shit, cool.
Flappy
Well,
Mercy.
Yeah, that's coming back. Let's talk a little bit about Black Myth, because we mentioned some game of the year talks, and it's about that time. We're creeping into the end of the year. It's about time to lock in our official predictions for game of the year. And I will say, Black Myth Wukong is one of the funnest games I've had my hands on ever. Like, we all know one of my favorite games, top games, is Jedi Survivor, and I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna put this game over Jedi Survivor for myself.
I don't think they're gonna allow it though, bro.
What? For what? What? Who won't allow what?
The
Really?
communities. I don't think they're gonna let Black Myth win. I
What's
think it's
gonna win
be
over
Final
it?
Fantasy.
Oh no! Who?
I don't.
Who fuck plays
I
that this
haven't
year?
played it. Nope. Yep. See, I haven't. But that's the debate that I've been seeing happen. It's been between Final Fantasy and Astrobot. They're not even talking about Black Myth.
They not even talking about Black Myth? Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Astrobot just launched.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying? Big impression, bro.
I told you, I wouldn't bullshit.
1 hour gameplay. Game of the year.
It's crazy, dude, bro. There's
I
no
don't know.
way this
I
doesn't
hope
win.
Black
Dude.
Myth wins. Yeah, it definitely should.
10 million copies sold.
They delivered what they said they would. I ain't gonna count.
And it's so rare. We don't get that these days. We do not get deliverance on video on any promises these days with these video games. Like this game is excellent. It is. I want to say it's a 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to say this game is a fucking 10 out of 10. It is flawless. It is flawless. I don't know,
you
man.
from saying it.
I haven't finished it yet.
There's a couple things in there that I dislike about it that would drop me down personally. I was sitting at like a 8.5, 8.7 after my first playthrough, but just finishing my second one, I say I'm at like a 9.3.
You got like a 9.3. It does get. You said you mentioned a little bit that it gets better as you play. Y'all want to speak on that? Cause y'all in y'all almost new game plus. I'm still in my first run, so I ain't even close to the new game yet. Y'all want to speak on that? Y'all experience. Speak on y'all experience on your first playthrough versus your second playthrough.
I would say my first playthrough wasn't bad. It was just more or less like when I would get to a boss, I wouldn't go back and farm to like level up to be like, get a power gap on it. I would actually bang my head against the boss, I guess.
That's the way you're supposed to do it.
Which could lead to situations where like what I would say is in my second playthrough, if there's a cutscene before a fight, I'm beating that boss's ass, and then I can see the cutscene after the fight and understand what's going on. I'm not lost, wondering why I'm still fighting this boss or what even happened before this fight, or when that cutscene picks up, trying to reconnect dots. So that second playthrough being a revenge tour was definitely like it solidified the story a bunch, because then I felt like I got immersed a lot, like better. Felt more immersion into the story the second playthrough versus the first one. But the first playthrough altogether, I still think it was awesome. There's only like maybe 6 bosses that pissed me off, and only 2 of them need to be shot. But
Good God.
Hey, which 2?
Oh, Erlang need to be shot.
Okay,
Erlang
yeah, definitely agree.
And the final boss need to be shot.
Oh shit!
Wait, Erlang's not the final boss?
Nah, Erlang's the first boss you fight, but that's the only reason I felt comfortable saying that.
Oh, okay.
Even though this boy actually thrive off spoilers.
No, he don't. That nigga called me crying when he seen a spoiler.
Bro, yeah. The spoiler I had today from TikTok. Fuck TikTok, by the way. No, that was unacceptable. I saw my dog, like, cause I'm riding with Gramps right now, right? I'm in that part in, I think, I'm in chapter 3. I'm in chapter 3. I'm in that part in chapter 3 where Gramps riding with me and he like knocking back enemies with me. Like the old like dog. He's a wolf, right? He's a wolf or a dog. One or two.
He's a boar, bro.
He's a boar.
Yeah.
Oh, Zimbabwe.
Yeah, he's talking about
Baji.
Yeah.
Oh shit, he a boar.
Yeah, he a boar.
He's a boar.
Yeah, so I'm riding with him right now, right? And he's chilling. And then I saw on TikTok he had these red evil eyes, and he was telling me like he wanted all the smoke, and I'm like, huh? Like
he
what?
just looked like that, bro.
Come on, man. Yeah, you ain't never fought your uncle before? Yeah, he had a couple drinks, some shit like that.
Yeah, he gotta try to establish his dominance, sometimes.
Yeah, like, man, nephew look he's standing a little too tall.
He's standing a little too tall.
Think you big now, nephew?
Yeah. Look at this dude. He think he Wukong or some shit. Let me show him something.
All right, wait. So am I Wukong? Is the monkey Wukong? Or am I tripping? Who's Wukong?
We're all Wukong.
It's all your journey, bro.
But I heard somebody say he had mentioned something about like adventuring with Wukong. But I'm like, I'm right here with you. Like, what you mean? I thought I was Wukong.
You're like a reincarnation, man.
Yeah, I mean, they said it at the beginning. You're the destined one.
Because so basically, Wukong, when he got fucking offed in the fucking prologue, they took his relics and his 6 relics, and they're split them between different people, and so you're going collecting the relics so you can become kind of reincarnate and become Wukong again.
So I'm just a monkey that's trying to become Sun Wukong again.
Yeah,
In
that's
a
why
way, I
everybody
mean,
keep referring
but you're
to
the
you as
destined one though.
a monkey. Yeah, and as you progress, you become the destined one because you got enough relics. Like you him,
So I'm
unstoppable.
becoming myself again.
Yeah, that's the journey.
Okay.
You gotta continue the story, man. It'll make more sense to you because
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely gonna make more sense on my second run. I know that for a fact.
Even just when you get there, like when you get towards chapter 6, this one, it'll make more sense to you. Just like when you doing this shit, I guess. But
okay. Well, the story is definitely very, very interesting.
Is this a round ticket trip? Well, everything in life is one way.
Okay.
We're all heading towards death.
Striker, how you feeling? I know you on your new game plus. So you ain't put the game down. You've been skipping work and shit. So how you feeling about it?
Damn. Hold on. No.
Exposed.
It just got easier. Hold on. No, I've been working. I work hard, yo. And,
Yeah, we'll call.
That's wild. But not the second playthrough. So first playthrough, like I ain't gonna lie, there was some stuff that I overlooked and kind of just went past it without thinking twice about it. And then when I became aware about it, it was a little too late. So I was a wee bit upset about it. But at the same time, I think going through my second playthrough and understanding how this game is supposed to be played, I'm not that upset about it. I understand why they even allow you to mess up stuff and then lock it out completely. This game isn't one of those games where you're supposed to like completely get all of the content on your first playthrough of this game. Like there's a lot to be picked up from this game, and just more than just the story itself, also in the content that is unlocked that you're exposed to. And when I mean content, I don't just mean like the fights and areas that you'll see in the game. I also mean like the items and gear and resources that you'll get from the game. It's not just running once and then you'll have it all. So I like that they kind of give it to you in pieces like that. Kind of gives you a little bit more replayability, or it gives the game more replayability, I should say.
Yeah.
And I feel like that in and of itself is worth, playing this game 3-4 times.
Okay. I agree with that. I'd agree with that. Razor?
Yeah, well, I mean, my feelings haven't really changed since the last spoken about it. I definitely see now that the game is 100% meant to be played multiple times, and they do that from not only a story perspective, but also like some of my co-hosts mentioned, you can't craft and obtain everything in your first playthrough, and then also, like I said, remember when I made that little comment that side quests in this game are like Dark Souls side quests, you better know where the fuck to go or you gonna miss it.
Yeah,
so that's the same thing where you're bound to miss side quests and shit your first run through. If you're doing it blind, shit, you'll miss them when you do game plus going blind for real. So it's something that's meant to be played multiple times, and playing it in future runs, you'll have an easier time, and it will be very different. You'll get that power fantasy feel. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. And this is it's definitely not one of those. This is where it's like it deviates from Souls, and it's not difficult because once you get that new game plus, bosses can't keep up with you. Maybe that'll change a couple of pluses down the line, but I also kind of doubt it. Let's see. As far as ranking it from 1 to 10, I don't think my rank really changes. It's solid 8. Could move up to a 9. It's just there's just a few things where it just I can't remember if we talked about this on the last podcast. I don't want to repeat myself exactly. Really, so that was off camera.
Yeah.
So I talked about, like, for one, some of the transformations, not the transformations, but like the ones that happen in the story, which only happens 2 or 3 times. It just feels out of place because it doesn't happen often. You can't reuse those transformations. Prime example was just from chapter 1 when you reset shrine and the old monkey transformed you into a cicada, so you can sneak past. And it's just like, oh, that'd be a cool feature of the game, if it was actually a feature in the game. But that just happens once, and then once you detransform, hey, goodbye, never again. New game plus and try it again, man. And it just sucks because, like, especially in your first run, you're gonna want to detransform to explore things. You can't open up chests. You can't fight enemies, you can't really explore in that form, right? And even in New Game Plus, when like you speed running, If you want to stop and fight like the side boss there, that's done. If you want to, you can't use that form. I don't even know if you can keep it all the way to the next shrine or whatever, because I haven't tested that. Maybe I'll try that in my next plus run or whatever. Let's see. So that was the one. Chapter 6 was cool. Kind of very short lived. Didn't last very long. I like the change up, but I feel like they could have put more into that. Just into the map is very empty and very.
I think
bad.
Stryker was talking about that a little bit though, weren't you? About why chapter 6 is so short. I think he was mentioning something about like the game got cut short or something like that.
Oh,
He might be busy.
I think I know what you're talking about. But I think like they're planning on, because they did have more chapters planned. I think, but I believe the DLC, because they're coming out with 2 different DLCs for this game before moving on.
Yeah,
and I believe the DLCs will give us some of the content that was cut for the original release. So, but still, it's just like like the thing I'm talking, like you'll see when you get to chapter 6 how differently it plays out.
Yeah.
And you have to like actually find the bosses and shit, but like not like a secret passage type of find, like a needle in a haystack type of find, It's a little bit of over-exaggeration. It's not that hard to find things, but it's not that easy. You know what I mean? But overall, very, very great game. And like I don't have any big nitpicks that I really just like, oh fuck this, fuck that. Except for fighting Erlang the first time. Fuck him. Rain, hand me the gun.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. With the switch. Fuck
With
it.
the switch.
With the switch, because he got a parry bar. We don't need the switches.
Okay. Yeah, well, I do appreciate that they're releasing DLC for the game. Rumored 2 DLCs. So what do y'all think are those DLCs? I guess a lot of people are gonna run them on their new Game Plus characters. I mean, is that what y'all gonna do, or if the DLC comes out, y'all gonna completely restart? Like, how would y'all go about that?
Hell no.
Hell no.
I guess it would depend. This dude got a little taste of power. Never go back.
Never
I
going
don't know.
back.
For me, it would kind of depend, because like it depends on how they want to do the DLC, right? Because when you think of something like Dark Souls, a lot of Dark Souls DLCs, the DLC access point is not at the beginning of the game. It's so like you'll have to need a character with progress to even get into the DLC. And then other times, sometimes they also do it to where DLC enemies are just scaled to in-game level anyway. So if something like that, you're only hurting yourself by starting over for real. So it'll depend on, for me, it'll depend on how they do it, but more than likely, just for the sake of not having to start over, and like, I'll probably run it on this character. I'm not gonna be level like 500 like Stryker by then, but
that's crazy. There's a cap.
What is the max cap?
That you'll reach there.
342.
They might up it with the DLC though.
Probably.
If they get.
I mean, it'll make sense for them for the DLC to just make the enemies insanely I wouldn't say like they're substantially stronger, I would say, because they'll probably know that everybody's running maybe max level rigs at that point, so maybe they'll do something, I don't know, like Elden Ring did with their DLC or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was kind of smart, having a separate scaler.
They would have to, otherwise it'll just be kind of too easy, which will make it a little boring.
It would have to up the boss game a lot too if they don't let players keep their levels.
So what does the boss? I'm guessing the bosses don't really up too much on New Game Plus.
They're supposed to.
Nowhere near as much as you.
True. Yeah, I think there'll probably be a major like gut check with the DLCs. I could see it, just because everybody will probably be near that max rank and shit like that, and they're like, oh well, if we don't do this, then there's really no challenge. So in order to have a challenge, they'll probably like massively increase the difficulty for the bosses. I can see that happening. And maybe it might be some a pretty, maybe we might see some expansions like Elden Ring had, right? Like where it feels like a completely different game, or like maybe they're giving us that whole continuation where they wanted to put in the original game. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. So that'll be interesting how they play that out. And if it's free, even better. Would y'all pay for a DLC for this game?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's good news. It's good when you hear it. People are like, "Yeah, I would pay. I would pay for the DLC." That's how you know a game is good. When people are like, "I'll pay for a DLC."
That's
Okay.
the thing, though. I think they ready to just give it to you.
I think
Like
so
one of
too.
Them bad ones.
I mean, that would be cool too. Shit, you know, if you
Wow.
already bought the game here, you can just have it free. That'd be cool too. I ain't gonna lie.
What you mean you single, stay at home and cook? Stop.
That'd be dope.
Y'all want to talk any speculation about like the game, the sequel, not sequel, but the next part in the series?
The DLC.
Yeah. No, the next
like the
game.
actual game. I hold on, let me Google this again.
do
so I can see
actually.
the spelling because I don't want to butcher this guy's name. But
Yeah, it was like
another guy.
something like that.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like
Okay,
Jin
well, he did it
something?
for me, so I'm glad. Hey, look that up, whatever they said, however you spell that. But I know I heard that like this game was very melee focused. That game's supposed to be more magic focused,
Ooh.
spell focused, and stuff like that. Hold up, I'm gonna have to Google his name anyway because I think the mythology
cool
behind this
stuff.
guy is that he was he's like a war general. Hold up.
I like this Black Myth series. You know, this shit kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie to you. That they're doing. So Black Myth, was it Naja? Is it Naja?
No, isn't it?
Jingjia, something like
I
that.
don't even know what you just said. I thought it started with a Z, right? Zhongkui? Wait, no, it's not Zhongkui. No, Zhangzia.
Zhangzia, okay.
Yeah,
Zhangzia, okay.
Yeah, okay. He was served as a military commander and strategist to the Zhao dynasty at around 1000 BC. Usually portrayed as
shit.
great intellect who was critical in the defeat of the Shang dynasty.
Hmm.
For
Okay.
everyone listening, I want y'all to know they poured their hearts into it. They really tried for this pronunciations.
I really tried. I ain't gonna lie, I really tried.
I don't think I'm that far off, you know? Not to toot my own horn.
How many games have Game Science developed so far, though? They've got Art of War, Red Tides, and Black. Okay, so they only have one other title. So if they, okay, so I'm reading like a little subreddit about it. It's about a war general. You said
Yeah.
that'd be dope. I mean, I'm a fan of this game, so whatever. If it's a next, addition to the series, I'm picking it up regardless. So it is Jean Kui then. It's about Jean Kui. It says Jean Kui is a character first depicted in 1000 AD to help.
Oh, okay. It's
wherever
looking. Okay,
mission
no,
goes.
okay. I guess I said that. So I guess
That would make sense because he used magic.
Yeah, no. So apparently, Zhong Kui is So I guess they've trademarked both Zhong Kui and Jiangxia. So that's two titles of two different games that are coming up in the series.
Oh
But I think
shit!
the Jiangxia's will be next.
Oh shit! So they already got a Jean Kui in the idea box too. Then
Oh yeah.
that'd be hard.
They had a $70 million budget on Wukong, and they made 700 million, or even over 10 million, right? Or
No, yeah, they sold over 10 million copies, and they did make
Yeah.
over $700 million so far,
Yeah.
and it's not even released on Xbox yet. Like
Mhm.
that shit's crazy. Like they're gonna surpass $1 billion on this game alone. So they definitely have room for some more games, and I'm very happy about that. Thanks for mentioning that, Rain. Yeah, they definitely have room for some more
I
budget.
got a question for
video
y'all
games.
though. So what do y'all think it is about? Like, what qualities of Black Myth do y'all think people find so appealing?
I think honestly,
I think the storytelling and the combat. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, the way they tell the story,
Yeah.
like it definitely the cutscenes. I think motherfuckers enjoy it. I ain't gonna lie.
I sure was gonna say I don't know about storytelling itself because I think a lot of motherfuckers don't understand what's going on the first time.
Hey, that soundtrack is
but the
fire.
cutscenes though,
Cutscenes,
I do definitely
Cutscenes
believe.
and then the
The music
different art
videos?
styles and everything they do in there,
but it's beautiful.
they
Yep.
change it up.
And they got an amazing soundtrack. Hey, actually, I should have picked up the
Soundtrack, yeah.
paid the extra
But-
$10. That shit was fire.
And I
But
think
the-
it also rides that wave right now. Like anime is in, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
Black Myth being probably the like not origin, but kind of sort of the not imitation, but
Like the Godfather fictional characters.
yeah, for a couple of those, yeah, because you can tie his story into Naruto too, the same way you can tie it into Dragon Ball Z and a couple other things. I think. Well, I wouldn't say One Piece. I can't. Tie it into One
I
Piece.
tied into Avatar a little bit in Last Airbender.
Yeah, you can tie it into that too. So I think that's another thing that people like about it.
I think the game was so successful because this is like another example of a game that blew up without a lot of marketing, right? There wasn't a ton of marketing surrounded by this game. I think a lot of their budgeting went actually into development. But this is one of those examples of like word of mouth got it very far. I think it went very far because of what we saw, like what y'all said in the gameplay. It's storytelling, and even though people don't understand a lot of the storytelling, especially like on the first run, because you're so focused on trying to beat these bosses, and you get a little distracted. Like the cinematics are wonderful. People love good cinematics, and there's a good balance. There's not too much. You're not sitting in a cutscene for 10 minutes. You're actually like, it's not overdoing it. And then like its gameplay, it's very interactive. There's a lot to do. You don't get bored. I haven't found myself getting like I haven't found myself doing anything that's like tedious in this game. Like everything has a purpose. Everything kind of blends together perfectly well with this game, and I think players kind of resonated with that because, like I said, what have we really seen that has like popped out this year? Like nothing really. There hasn't been anything.
Outworld.
Okay, there hasn't been anything really that's been like consistent with like promises being made, and the developers here they promised a good game and they delivered. And I think people like once the word of mouth hit, like, hey, this game is like awesome, like people just like, hey, I'll pick it up, and then it just spread like a wildfire. And I don't know, like it spread all over YouTube, spread all over TikTok. Like people were like saying, like you see it on these Reddit subs, like, hey, all these bosses are like so difficult and this and that. It just gave people like, oh damn, I want to try that, And it's very addictive too. Like when you're playing it, like y'all, like I said, y'all are already damn near on your second New Game Plus run. Like it's a very addictive game. It's not one of those games where you play it one time and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put it down. Like it's one of those games where it's like you feel like, damn, I need to play this some more because I need to fully understand what's going on or fully acquire everything in the game, man. I don't know. It's one of those rare occurrences that happen. I feel like we get maybe like one of these every year. You know what I'm saying? One of these every year, a couple of years where games you just want to play it all the time. And I think that's why that drove a lot of success with this. Striker, what about you?
Yeah, no, for sure, I agree. Yeah, you covered a lot of it. Like you left no room for that. I did, however, wanted to talk about the Black Myth part because I was googling and trying to figure out like Black Myth, like what is this like? Is this like a genre of just like Asian like mythology, or would this also like encompass other mythologies?
I think
it's mostly Chinese, right?
Yeah, mostly Chinese. All of those are Chinese deities.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to say it'll be strictly Chinese, but
right. That's what I said, Asian, because like, I mean, you got a bunch of countries in Asia and whatnot, and that covers like Greece, Buddha. What other mythologies they got out there? I mean, y'all get it. And kind of something to touch upon, and I feel like y'all gonna be like, oh yeah, he's going right back to this, but I feel like he kind of got to, and seeing how God of War went about and how successful it was when it very first launched. And we're talking about like early 2000s, when they brought in action adventure Greek mythology game where you're fighting the gods. This is essentially that exact same concept, that same formula. The company did their research. They included a lot of the facts and lore, and it wasn't just in gameplay, also like it's in the journals, as far as like the journal entries about each characters, and you get a little bit of not only of the character itself within the game, but like about it like in the mythology as well. And I feel like they did that really well, and that in and of itself also helps drive the game's success, like it did with God of War.
Man, you just got to give God of War its praise, huh?
Hey, I bet you I was gonna say that, but
just 5 times.
I feel him on that though, because I think what we're seeing now is like a boom in Chinese development for video games. Like I feel like they have a story to tell, and they're bringing about good games. There was another game I saw by a Chinese Chinese developers that that's dropping soon too, and that one's supposed to be like a really big boom when it drops. But yeah, I think this is just that. Like, I mean, people, like I said, I mean, we live in a new age these days, but at its core, people are going to enjoy a good product. Like, it's just It's just gonna happen. If you put out a good product, people are gonna play it. You know, just like with TV shows or movies. Like if you put out something good, people are gonna watch it. We've had that discussion with like the MCU. We're like, no, it's not. The woke, quote unquote, woke times and just this and that. It's just the products are bad. So when people are putting out these bad games, like there's a response to it. Like people are going to enjoy what is good, inherently. So. This is just a good product, and we're seeing good storytelling. One thing I also wanted to mention was, I wanted to kind of tie back to Stellar Blade, and one big reason Stellar Blade like fucking fell off hard was because one, Stellar Blade had this, and I think that's a Korean product, but Stellar Blade had this. Obviously, it had sex appeal and it had pretty solid gameplay, but that was it. That was it. There had nothing else bringing it to that. The story was ass. Not compelling at all. Like you had no connection to the characters. I mean, the collection was just there was so much to collect. It just felt overwhelming. You just didn't want to do it. And plus there was no real incentive. It was just, you get cosmetic looks.
You want that suit,
No,
you show a little bit more skin.
And right. And so why do it when PC just gonna mod it for free? But it's just this game did the opposite of that. It wasn't lazy. There was like so much attention to detail. Like I mentioned on stream, like this game feels like an open world game, but it's not open world. I'm very confused because I'm like, damn, like some aspects of this game feels totally open world because I'm getting lost and I'm getting lost and I'm leading into like other areas, but then you're walled off on some areas. It's weird. It's a very weird feeling, but it's a good feeling, because at the same time, I'm not feeling like there's too much, but I definitely feel like there's enough, And so, I don't know. I think the products are just going to get better. Like I think with the next editions of their games, I think with the DLC for this game, because it's not over, which is good. It's just going to get better with this game. I think the next games they put out are going to be phenomenal, and I'm very excited for what game science, and not only game science, but China has to offer for their video games because they're stepping up to the plate pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. And I think Gaming Illuminati, they kind of caught it like years ago. I think maybe like 5-6 years ago, they were like, hey, like China's up next for like video games. Like they're coming hard, and it's turning out to be true. So I'm all for it though. I don't care who's putting out good products as long as somebody's putting out good products. Because I'm sick of this period we're in where. Like, you got these big AAA known companies that are getting so lazy and they're just pushing out products that are broken, don't work, and they expect people to buy it. Hopefully this is like going to turn the tides and gamers are going to start waking up and like, hey, I'm not supporting this product. It doesn't work, or I'm not supporting this product because, you put out something shit, And so like I was watching YouTube the other day while I was cooking, and I got to do it. I got to hate on it again for the 4th week in a row. Star Wars Outlaws was...
Wait, before you do that, before you do that, I did want to segue something else because we were talking about Wukong. It also see an increase in book sales for Journey to the West, like by a substantial percentage, basically, like since the game released. That was a good note that I wanted to add. But the Ubisoft thing, I didn't get around to sending you this article, but I read an article about it. They're investigating the company now.
Are they really?
Yeah, so
why?
It's even bigger because they're accusing certain the CEO and shareholders that recently purchased a major part of shares in Ubisoft as trying to tank the company because their stock has obviously dropped tremendously over the course of the year with the titles they put out, you're about to bash on. They're accusing them of pushing out these subpar games and saying that they are good, forcing the company to lose value so they can buy more of it and do a takeover. Do a hostile takeover of the corporation. So I think that's kind of what they're going through right now. That's probably why they're putting out shit. So I would stay away from shit. Except for shit like Assassin's Creed. They can't fuck that up, right?
We hope not. We hope not. Want to bet? Watch us. We'll see. I'm excited for Assassin's Creed though. But yeah, no, that's good. That's a good point. I mean, it seems like insider trading though a little bit. I'm gonna look a version of it. I mean, that's.
Yeah, but I mean, is it really when you already own shares? Because you're not selling, you're just buying more.
Yeah, trying to do a takeover that way. That seems like a little gray area loophole that rich people do.
But that's why they're investigating it. And, that's
good. Fucking up our video games, man.
Tighten up.
Yeah, they do. It's just I don't know. It's just pissing me off. Like these products, because we've been seeing it for like at least the last 5 to 6 years. We've been seeing games come out, like these big titles come out that are supposed to work and they just don't. This game worked, and I love it when a game just works, man. And how many years was in development since 2018, and you can just really see that hey, they delivered. But that's enough on that box. Just really proud of the product. I like to give accommodation when it's due. Especially when we don't see that a lot in these games these days. Because right now, I think Assassin's Creed is going to be a great game, but I think it's going to be broken day one. I think it's going to be broken for like a week. I ain't gonna lie. I really do. And that's going to be very disappointing. And I think the PC port is going to be not working. So, but I do think the game is going to be good, after like the first couple weeks when the bugs are hashed out. Because I'm not going to give it to Ubisoft to push out a finished product. I'm just not. I'm not. I have no faith. But off of that, anybody else got something to say about Black Myth or the new games, whatever? Anybody else got anything to say? Honestly,
like anything at all?
Anything at all? I mean, we still got show notes and shit, but anything at all? Yeah, whatever. Floor is yours if you got something.
Well, what else we have to talk about? I want to talk about Shadow.
PlayStation 5 Pro.
Oh, well, we're still in gaming, so hey, go for it, man.
All right, bet. You got something else on your mind?
Outside of gaming, yeah.
Okay, bet. All right, bet. Hold that thought. Yeah. So PlayStation 5 Pro dropped. They announced it like maybe a few days ago, and they released it. People are picking up their new consoles, quote unquote new. New and improved. They put that in bold, right? We got the PS5 Pro announced, y'all. The long-awaited PlayStation 5 Pro. They're advertising 4K 60 frames per second. They're advertising 8K media. They're advertising upgrade to the GPU. I think they quoted, there was some large percentage they quoted with ray tracing. Ooh, they love throwing that ray tracing around. Better ray tracing performance, you know what I'm saying? So the GPU, buzzwords, yes, just like Apple. The GPU is equivalent to an RX 7700. Expense. There has been no upgrade to the CPU. Give it up to Sony for that. That wouldn't come to a surprise, except we got a $700 price tag on the console, and there is only one console. We got a $700 price tag with an additional, wait a minute, $80 for a disk drive. If you want the disk drive attachment, it's going to be $80 additional dollars.
Wait, they giving you $80 for that disk drive?
No. You're going to give them an additional $80 for the disk drive.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So that's going to bring you at $780 pre-tax.
That's it?
Yeah.
No taxes?
Don't worry though. No. There is taxes on it.
There's a sale at GameStop right now. You can get those disc trays for $10. You heard it from Rain.
Oh shit. For real?
Would you beat up for that?
Oh god.
My bad. I don't know the answer to that.
Well, speaking of GameStop though, they're also offering trade-in values. I think people are getting like $300 for their PlayStation 5s trading in at GameStop, and then that means you can get like a PlayStation 5 Pro for like another $3 something. So hey, I guess if you want to trade it in, go ahead. It also comes with 2 terabytes of storage, so they did something good on that at least. It comes with 2 terabytes. Let's dive in. Let's just tear this apart. All right, I'm gonna tear this console apart just because of I'm gonna explain everything that's wrong with this scene. Right at the event, Sony announced all these. They had all these buzzwords and this and that. If you look at the console for its face value, I'm not surprised at the price. Right. I'm actually surprised that we had this $500 price tag for so long on these consoles, because we all know that they were selling them at a loss. They've been selling these consoles at a loss since the PS4. So I think the PS3 actually came out at $600 starting, and that was like back in 08. Yeah. So I'm surprised they went this long suddenly at a loss. So this $700 price tag, I'm not upset at the price. I'm more so upset at the price because of what's in the console, because they basically sold you the same console in just for $700. 800 almost if you want a disc drive. Not too upset about the disc drive though. I don't even have discs for my games, so I don't care about that. But some people do. But look, they upgraded the GPU. I guess it's got a 7700 equivalent, so it's not too bad of a GPU. The only problem is that we're running into with the PS5 Pro is that the games, right? here's what they advertised. They offered you higher fidelity, barely. Even if you're looking at the side by side on their polished showcase, you could barely see the difference. They were talking about, oh, well, you can see the background in the games are clearer. They were showing like NBA 2K, and they were like, the fans are more clearer. This is that. One, nobody gives a fuck about looking in that. Two, they were talking about like, oh, well, they were showing The Last of Us, of course, and it came to no surprise that they were showing old games that released on the PS4. That was a red flag. So another thing that what they showcased, Demon Souls, I guess, another time. So they're highlighting all these games, and they're saying like, hey, these games are gonna have a PS5 Pro Enhanced label on them, which means you can play them at 4K 60. Fine and dandy. But these are old games. We gonna be able to play any new games at this?
Hell no.
No, we're not. So they're doing the same thing that the PS4 Pro did, and they're doing the same thing that the PS5 did when the PS5 first came out. Remember when the PS5, for those of you who don't know and are listening, when the PS5 first dropped, no one can get their hands on a PS5. So for the first like couple years during the pandemic, no one had a PS5. Fine and dandy, it's not really, their fault. We had a shortage of chips, whatever. But when the PS5, I'll say for the first 3 years, there were really no games for the PS5, but people were paying all this 800 plus for the console and this and that, reselling this and that. And so we had this big upgrade on a console, which wasn't too much of an upgrade from the PS4 Pro when you really think about it, just like faster speeds with the SSD, we running into the same issue with that. And so my problem is with this console is they price it at $700, but we're not, when you really think about it, we're not really getting anything new. And I saw I saw Rain comment on some dude on Twitter, and I had to comment too. I had to put my little PC in because it just made no sense while people were hyping up this console. I'm like, this is not a new console. This is literally a PS5 with a little sticker on it. Hey, boost the performance. I think they showed old games. Like, how many times are we gonna show The Last of Us Part 2? Like, how many times are we gonna show this damn game?
Part 3 comes out.
Facts, you ain't even lying. But they showed like an upgrade, and they're like, okay, well now you can play in fidelity mode at 60 frames per second, But it looked almost no different from playing in performance mode, just with better background, I guess, slightly. Not enough to pay for a whole new console. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You won't notice it. And so, but hey, if you got the money, go ahead and get it, I guess. If you want to play those old games with enhanced on them, that's fine. But it's all a gimmick. That's my main problem for the PS5 Pro. It's a gimmick. And now what this is going to do, which should have been done a while ago, I guess. I'm surprised. Like I said, I'm surprised we went this long without this price tag. But this is going to be the baseline for consoles now. $700. This is going to be the baseline. So for all of you saying that you can't afford a PC or can't afford to get your toes dipped in the PC world, I call bullshit, because we're going to start seeing, at least for the PS6 and the new Xbox, I'm guessing that price is going to increase to minimum $750, $800. And I mean, you can kind of save up a little more for a nice rig, or even just you can build a pretty decent rig for like $800 for a PC and have just a ton more room to just play. And so, and upgradability, right? You don't have to, people think, oh, well, there's another argument we were seeing, like, oh, well, why spend $1,200 on a PC, this and that? But you're not thinking about the, if you upgrade the parts, it's going to be cheaper in the long run than sit up here buying $700 plus dollar consoles every like what, 5 or 6 years. I mean, I don't know. That's just my TED talk on it. But PS5 Pro is out. It's at a $700 plus dollar price tag with little to no upgrades. And I can't wait to see the testing that these YouTubers do on the console, because there's really not going to be any difference that you see. And if you do see any difference, you're going to be playing older games. You're not going to see anything different on these newer games. And we already seeing rumors about GTA 6. The game everybody is going to be playing on that new PS5 Pro. And it's going to be the same performance as your PS5 because it's a CPU heavy game. So I don't know. Y'all got any thoughts on the PS5 Pro? Will y'all be picking it up?
On release? Probably the fuck not. There's no real reason to. And yeah, 700 is insane. And honestly, the insane part about selling this drive for the extra 100 is that discs are like outdated, bro, and you're charging me $100 for a disc drive.
Right.
I could find a disc drive at some fucking thrift stop for like $1 or $2 for real, probably if I wanted it.
Facts.
But
yeah, but I won't say Sony on it.
That's all right. They'll still play the disc. Which I mean, I don't even own disc, bro. Who still owns disc?
That's what I'm saying.
Modern day and age.
Fuck still owns disc. Man.
Blu-ray.
A lot of them niggas that bought Concord.
Facts.
Oh, you mean them copies they trying to sell?
Mm-hmm.
Them the ones they gonna need the drive for?
Like I only got a disc PS5 because that's the only one I could get.
Yeah, you couldn't get the other one.
Couldn't get the other one. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I think I saw some people saying like, "Oh, I'll pick it up at a price drop." I don't. It's not. You're not gonna see a price drop for this. Maybe a $50 price drop on like Black Friday, Christmas time, or whatever. But other than that, that's gonna be the standard price.
What if you don't got a PS5?
What if you don't have a PS5? Hey, if you don't have a PS5, I know what you're doing. But if you don't have a PS5 and you looking for a PS5, I mean, get the console. I guess it's the newer version. I mean, I guess it's got the better GPU in it. It's got more storage. I mean, the storage is worth it. It's got 2 terabytes. That's the only good thing coming out of it, really.
Okay.
So I'd say I'd say it's worth it if you don't have a PS5 already.
Would you be enticed to get it?
Fuck no, I could just get the normal PS5 them niggas got and then go on Amazon and buy them M.2 drives. Or, they got them 2 terabytes for $50, nigga.
They do.
For $50. And that's what I'm talking about. And so if I'm paying $700 for a storage upgrade, you got me fucked up.
Yeah, I only said that. My bad. I only said that, y'all. If y'all have the money for it and you're like, broke. Hey, I might as well fucking get the newest what's out. Go ahead. But if you just want a PS5 and you're like, I don't have $700 to own a PS5 because you shouldn't, get a fucking regular PS5 and just like you said, go on Amazon and get an M.2. Like that's what I threw a fucking cheap M.2 in my shit for. I think I threw an extra 2 terabytes in my shit for less than $100. So it's like, just do that. I mean, it's not. You don't need the PS5 Pro. If you want to save some money, that'll cost you what, like, because the PS5 price is dropping now. You can get that for like $440. Throw in like a $50 to $80 drive for 2 terabytes in there, and you sitting at almost $200 less than your console. So no, I don't. I mean, if you have the money, go ahead, do whatever you want with it. I don't give a fuck. But if you tight on funds, but you want to get a current gen console, just get the PS5. You're not gonna see that. You're not gonna see any difference, man. Like it's no point in keeping up with all these, people trying to, flex with the PS5 Pro. There's really, when you look at the specs, there's no flex. I mean, this shit's stupid. Honestly, if I got $700, I'm gonna upgrade. Probably, I'll throw some more parts in my PC. I ain't gonna lie to you. I am not about to sit here and buy no fucking PS5 Pro. I am curious though what Xbox is gonna drop on their next
a PC.
Nothing.
You don't think Xbox is gonna drop anything? You think Xbox is even gonna keep making Xboxes?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't.
Nah,
see
I'm lying. They'll probably drop something, and it's gonna make people so mad.
You think so?
Yeah, it's gonna be $600, and it's probably gonna be better than the PS5 Pro.
The real question is what the fuck they gonna call it, because they naming schemes just all over the place.
They need to just restart
Xbox 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. My God. They just need to go with a number scheme at this point. It's getting confusing. I'm gonna lie to you.
What Xbox do you want? I don't know, man.
I don't know. Facts. But I guess we're expecting Xbox's console to appear next year. I guess that's what the rumors are. But yeah, like you're right. I do see it being a little cheaper, and it being a little better. They'll probably have a better CPU for sure because they know people are complaining about that for the PS5 Pro. So I think Microsoft took a win on this one because they're waiting to see how people respond to the Pro. They're probably gonna up it just because they got the market cap.
Cast the first stone.
Facts. I do see Xbox making a. You know how this shit flips back and forth between Xbox and PlayStation and shit like that. I do see Xbox making a pretty good return when it comes to the console wars because they're still going on, believe it or not. On the next gen consoles, I can see it. If Microsoft plays it smart, I can see it. I can see Xbox coming back. But yeah, that's PlayStation 5 Pro. for all of you who are interested in upgrading your PS5, or if you don't have a PS5, getting a PS5. There you go. Yeah, on to whatever Razer had to talk about. What you got, man?
Oh man, putting me in the spotlight, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a really quick, announcement out of, I ain't gonna lie to you, fandom, for the music category, which will segue into something else we gotta talk about anyway. The pre-party that came out, what was the day? It was earlier this
Juice
week.
WRLD.
Yes, sir. You already know the alright Juice WRLD, the pre-party EP that released on the 9th. 2 songs, World Tour and Light Years. And also apparently there's a rumor that another EP to prelude the album that supposedly is coming out in November. They've been delaying it forever, but now that they actually dropped something for it, I have reason to believe that they might be not lying this time, Don't take it from me though, take it from Rain. I'd rather you take his word. And yeah, I just, Mark, got a reputation out here I got to maintain, bro. And, if I'm lying, then I'm breaking my rep. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you could take a hit or two. Anyways, yeah, and I'm just a huge Juice WRLD fan, and so is Rain. That's why you should take his word for it. And I just really wanted to announce this for anyone who might not have heard the songs yet, because they're fucking amazing, And I'm super excited for The Party Never Ends. I know you are too, And that's all. That's the announcement.
No, the songs were fire though. Like I turned them on as soon as y'all dropped them, and I was like, okay, hopefully this is. I mean, it's Juice WRLD, it can't be asked, but it was
is
catchy.
It a world tour or your girls tour? And that's not a Drake reference, not anymore.
It was good. That's not all though. Kendrick dropped a new song, or is dropping a new song, right?
Yeah, well, he dropped the full song on Instagram. Like Instagram. The nigga he is, with a cover of 2 worn out black Air Forces. Them joints have seen a couple steps and spins. I guarantee it.
Did anybody hear it yet?
I posted it in Funnies because I couldn't post it in the music channel and it pulled it in, so I posted it there. But it's there, the whole video, I guess.
The whole song.
Yeah, because
they
took it off Instagram and put it on Twitter.
Of course, think of Twitter. I see it. I see it right here. Okay, cool. Was it good? Did you like it? First impressions?
I liked it.
Yeah,
cool.
That was good. That's good.
Cool. Well, speaking of Kendrick Lamar, he is headlining in New Orleans for Super Bowl 59.
Woo. And speaking of New Orleans, I hope y'all doing all right with that storm,
Damn, yeah, they smacked. Smacked up. It's not y'all year.
Man, I'm catching tailwind of it, bro. Shit was bad today. Man, it's constant rain all fucking day, man.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's up in Tennessee now. Yeah.
It missed Texas, thank God. I could not go without power again. It's not happening. Woo. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Take that heat for it. Yeah, hey, make sure that Super Bowl dome is fixed for the Super Bowl. That's all we need to know. The New Orleans dome. Make sure it's squared away. Cause we gonna need Kendrick to perform when the Lions and Chiefs go at it. Super Bowl 59. So anyway.
You really loyal to your city.
And we gonna it's a good season for football. Oh, Thursday night's on, huh? Who's winning right now, Ray?
None of your damn business.
Oh shit! Not his team.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. Miami is. It's on Amazon Prime actually.
Oh, it is. All right, bet I'm gonna turn that on after this. But
y'all seen the LL Cool J dropped his album?
I saw something about that.
Your old ass.
Damn.
LL Cool J. LL Cool J.
That make me old, yo.
What said LL Cool J?
Buffalo's winning. Obi's upset. Buffalo's winning 31-10.
Who's winning?
Buffalo Bills.
Oh yeah, 31-10. They smacking their ass. God.
Tariq must have got arrested or something.
Other than that, that's all the news we kind of got for y'all. Just a couple highlights. I think I skipped over the tech news. The Apple event did occur. Nothing new, crazy. We got new iPhone 16s. You got iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. Woo. Now all the iPhone 16s, they share a camera button, a physical camera button. They all have the dynamic island now. All have USB-C. And I think probably I'll do a hot topic on probably the recommendation for upgrading. But there's nothing crazy. If you have a phone within the last couple of years, you don't need to upgrade. It's nothing new. It's just a bunch of gimmicks Apple putting out. They've primarily focused on iOS 18, which is launching in like a week. For everybody who's interested in Apple Intelligence, nothing crazy dropped. They tried to drop a new Apple Watch. Yeah, AI. Right? They tried to drop a new Apple Watch. It's new, old Apple Watch Ultra. It's not new. People are calling it new. It's not new. It's old. It's last year's model, just in black. Yeah, and they're selling it for the same price. I mean, hey, if you want a black one, if you don't have an Ultra, you want a black one, buy it. I recommend waiting until next year when they drop the Ultra 3. But hey, if you want a black Ultra watch, go get it. But just know it's not new. It's last year's Ultra 2. It's just in black now. They also dropped Apple Watch Series X. Nothing really new on the product. Same as last year's lineup. I think they just introduced a sleep apnea mode. So if you don't have sleep apnea, you don't fucking need that. But nothing crazy. Like I said, the new iPhones are kind of focusing heavily on iOS 18, but iOS 18 isn't fully launching until early 2025. I mean, iOS 18 is launching next week, but all of the features aren't fully coming with the product until early next year, which may even get delayed to the summer of next year, knowing Apple's track record for the last 4 or 5 years. So yeah, we're like I said, we're in that time period where people like to introduce products and put out products that aren't released yet, and Apple's a victim of it too. But nothing else is new on the podcast. I don't have any more news. If y'all don't have any more news, y'all got anything for the people?
I hope y'all had a good day, or are having a good day.
Me too.
Or if you didn't,
hope
bro,
you're having a good week
tomorrow, man.
Rain,
if you're not,
Striker,
it gets better.
Don't tell them that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Well, wrapping up this episode, we want to thank everyone who made it this far in today's show. All we ask for your appreciation is for you to spread the love by sharing the podcast with a friend or 2 or 3 if you're feeling generous. While you're ready, go ahead and drop us a 5-star rating on the supporting platforms. This will help the algorithm promote our show, which helps us with bringing in new listeners. Do not forget that if you want to reach out and keep up with us, you can always find us in our Discord server over at discord.gg/thesummit. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. And as always, we will see y'all next week. Peace.